Hey, Dr. Mary Rensel here. This is for docs who don't want to waste $2 million. $2 million. Do not waste $2 million. Let's go over 3 ways to not waste $2 million. That's a lot of money. Can you imagine what you could do for your community with $2 million? Your family, your friends, can you imagine where you could go? That's a heck of a lot of money. Let's go. So I'm founder of Brain Fresh. I'm Dr. Mary Rensel. I like to use neuroscience to make the path of the woman doc a little smoother, a little happier, with focus, support, and impact. I know when people live fully in their gifts, the world is a better place. So I like to use neuroscience to further people. All right, let's go. So we are going to talk about how negotiation can work as a woman doc. We're going to talk about my experiences negotiating, and we're going to talk about 3 steps that you can do this week to learn more about negotiations. Okay, you got it? Ready to go? Okay, so there was an article in the American Journal of College of Cardiology. It was published in 2022 by Dr. Lee, and it is called Negotiation for the Early Career Cardiologist. Why do we want to negotiate early in our career? Because the literature shows if we negotiate our salary early, you could, when you retire, have $2 million more, okay? Because of compounding interest over the years. So a lot of times I have a friend that's a leader. She's a president of a hospital, and she tells me when she tells a salary to a male doc, they put their fists on the table. They say, "We need more. I can't raise my family on that." Da, da, da. And the women docs, so often she says they just say thank you. So this it's very important for us to know that we can negotiate, how to negotiate, great resources to learn more about negotiation. So let's go. Okay. So in this article, they remind us that there is gender pay gaps, race pay gaps for women in medicine. There's promotion gaps. And in other areas like business and law, negotiation is taught and modeled and reviewed, and it's normalized. In medicine, we don't really learn how to negotiate. We don't see it. At least I never did. It's like a black box. It's like a room, I'm a Catholic, we walk into these confessionals and they're little dark rooms and a little door opens and it's kind of like that. Like what's happening in there? Like what does negotiation look like? And so we don't want negotiation thinking like, yeah, like where's this little dark space that we have to negotiate in, right? Okay, so they introduce a concept called principled negotiation. What is that? I'm going to give you the tips. Okay. So they said we really need to understand our interest and the person that we're negotiating with. We really need to put a lot of research and time into learning more about who we're negotiating with. Okay. What are their interests? And we really want to understand that. And what is their position in this situation that we're negotiating, right? We want to understand our own. We want to research this like it's a class, like it's calculus, right? So we don't want to go in unprepared to a negotiation. So in principled negotiation, you want to understand the interest and the position of yourself and the person you're negotiating with, okay? You want to consider a mutual advantage option. So whatever we're going to propose or accept is mutually advantageous for us and for the person we're negotiating with, right? Okay. Because when I think of negotiation, I think win-lose. Somebody wins, somebody loses. No. So this is a different kind of idea. We have to be careful of that story we tell ourselves of what a negotiation is, right? So let's be careful and be very clear of about what negotiation is and isn't. This is a particular kind of negotiation. And I love a particular book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. I'll put it in the show notes. Okay, why? Because he completely like broke open that little dark closet where people, my confessional as a Catholic, of how negotiation goes. Okay. Just write a new story about negotiation. And that's what this group of cardiologists is also suggesting. So when you think of negotiation, you're thinking of a principled negotiation. You're understanding the interest and position of yourself and the person you're negotiating with. You're coming up with a mutually advantageous option for both of you. Okay. And you're coming up with criteria for fairness. What is fair? And if we, at the last, whatever we agree upon, it's fair for both of us. And you can't get to those places if you don't understand where that other person's coming from. So you have to do your homework when you negotiate. And you have to do your homework with yourself. Like, what's important to you? What do you want? What works? What are the industry standards? Okay. So I really hate when I'm trying to do something, but I've never seen it modeled well. It's like what I'm saying, it's like a dark closet. It's like the confessional. So it's harder for me to deal with when I haven't seen it modeled. And I like to just like look under the rocks, like how are other people handling this? So that's where there are podcasts on negotiations. There are multiple books on negotiation. There's a negotiation book called Women Don't Ask. It's by some professors out of Pittsburgh. And one person I was mentoring, I had her do what they do, which is like the ask challenge, where you first just ask for silly things, like you go into a store and you ask. It's just to break down, your negative stories about asking. So the first thing you do is like first just ask somebody that is, and you do an easy ask. Like let's say you ask your family member, can I have their sandwich? They're eating a sandwich. Can I have that sandwich? They're like, what? This is my sandwich. But you just have to break down, the habit of not asking, like already assuming what may come from the ask. This is from this book called Women Don't Ask. And then by the end, you have like a couple weeks where you just keep asking for things. By the end, you literally walk into a store and ask for a pack of gum for free. And people are like, what? You can't have a pack of gum for free. Or some people are like, okay. So you never know what someone's going to say yes to. So it's just a silly, not silly, but it's like, it's breaking down the barriers to asking and rethinking how a negotiation may go, right? So it may go well, and you may understand the interest and the positions of the person of yourself and the person across from you. You may find that mutually advantageous option for both of you. And you may feel like everything was very fair when you left the room of negotiation. You may say, like, wow, that went really well. I love that. That actually was fun and fair. And I can't believe it. Like the negotiation went well. Okay, so we have to rethink that a negotiation can end up as principled. And that's what they suggest in this article is learning the concepts of principled negotiations. And this is for early career cardiologists. So it's very interesting. So how do we do this? Number one, we start with ourselves. What do we want? So we clarify our interests and our options when we're looking at a job or asking for a raise, whatever you might be asking for. Number two, what are the industry standards and criterias at this time? So again, we're going to do our homework. We're not going to go into a negotiation not prepared, right? And we're going to learn a lot about the person across from us. And there's a lot more hints in this book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Like he recommends um, this process of whatever the person you're sitting against, sitting across from, whatever they say, you repeat the last three words. It's like, well, that can't work. So, oh, that can't work. And you just repeat it and pause because it makes them kind of fill in the blank. So it's very interesting. Read the book and you'll see what you think about that. But it's interesting. Number one, like and subscribe the video here so that you can get more tips for women docs. And think about joining my free community for women docs because I like to use neuroscience to make the path a little smoother, a few more smiles along the way, more friends. So I like to use neuroscience to find focus and support as a women doc so you can have more impact with all your gifts and strengths and not make it like you have to figure this all out yourself because the research is out there for us, right? So you're going to figure out, you're going to list your interests and your options. One technique as well is to think like, what's the craziest idea that could happen? What are your options? And so in medicine, sometimes we think the only option is walking into a building every day that says hospital or office. And you'll be surprised, but docs work in all kind of situations, right? So they work in academics, they work in private practice, they work hybrid, they travel around the country and work in all different locations every few weeks. They, work from a computer in Bali. They're completely virtual. Women docs start their own business. Like I've started a business to coach other women docs to find their next steps and potentially create a business to give them more freedom and flexibility. So Docs can do a lot of things, there's not only one thing. So we have to list all those options, right? And so three things for women docs. So we don't want you to waste or lose $2 million, $2 million. So right from the beginning, we want you to be aware of the power of negotiations, different ways to negotiate, resources to help you negotiate. You're going to know your options and your interests. You're going to look for standards of the industry. You're going to compare, you're going to look at precedents, you're going to talk to people about negotiations, you're going to get a lawyer if there's a contract involved, you're going to look at RVUs, you're going to look at bonuses, moving bonuses. And then you're also going to look at alternatives. Talk to people, invite them for coffee, 10-minute coffee, tea, what worked for them. Study this. Don't go into a negotiation unprepared. Okay. So principled negotiation to help you save $2 million, right? That would feel good. Have an extra $2 million. Imagine what you could do with that. Imagine the impact. I love to give women docs more options for impact. $2 million could do it, right? So don't take this for granted. It's not something we learn. People do learn it in business school and in law school. We do not tend to learn this in medical school. It's very important. You got to study it like you study calculus, study it like you studied biochemistry. Okay? Like and subscribe. I gotcha. Neuroscience to further people. Let's do this. $2 million.